So welcome everyone to our new Mission Mindset podcast with INvets. And today I am your host. I am Victoria Molnar, the Northern Veteran Engagement Manager. And I have our guest, Dave Feliciano, who is also a veteran. And I'm going to let you tell us about yourself.
First, thank you for having me. Was definitely looking forward to this opportunity for you having me here. I'm Dave Feliciano. I'm from, I grew up in, Puerto Rico. I was basically all over the place. I was born in Jersey, and then my parents moved down to Puerto Rico, and then I was like back and forth throughout my childhood and stuff like that,
I was wondering if you were from Indiana or where you're from, so a little bit of everywhere then.
Basically, I started out in the National Guard in Puerto Rico back in 1999, and then after that, I just decided to go active duty. Back in 2002,
right after the Twin Towers. Is that what made you want to go active?
It's like kind of a funny story because initially I was working in the movie theater, then doing the National Guard thing and all that. Plus, I was working with my cousins too. My cousin was an electrician, certified electrician, so
nice.
I learned how to do electrician work and stuff like that. So I was working back and forward, movie theater, National Guard, and all over the place. And then my cousin, his name is Jose Rodriguez. My cousin joined, and 10 months later, he came back and he was like, "Oh, I'm a 13 Bravo, field artillery guy and all that." And I was like, "Oh, so how is it?" And he just started explaining me everything. Then, I like blowing stuff up and everything like that. So I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting." Next thing you know, I'm in basic training. Becoming an artillery man but I don't know. It was something that. After several years, 3 or 4 years, I was like, I need something the Army. It was something that I wanted to do, full time.
Not just on the weekends
not just on the weekends and all that. And then, so it's kind of funny because my cousin and I, we were always following each other's footsteps and stuff. And so he went active duty first.
Okay.
And then I'll talk to him, and he was like, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." And so I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what I want." So I ended up going active duty, and immediately after that, I was sent to Germany, and that was when the whole war in Iraq and everything started coming up and everything, and I got to Germany basically to go to CIF. And draw my desert uniforms, desert boots, and all that. And I was like, well, it's real now.
This is what's happening.
Yeah, this is what's happening. And it was a short, I got there and immediately we're a couple of months, man, we're in Iraq, crossing the border, going up to the war.
Did you feel like you were ready already at that stage? Because it went really fast then, right?
It was really fast, and I guess being young and,
top of the world.
Top of the world. It's it was something that I wanted to, to do. I was very, very eager to just go into war. I was young. I was in my early 20s.
Oh yeah, and Germany being your first base, that's pretty lucky.
Yeah,
that's
nice. True.
Yeah.
I actually been pretty lucky with my whole military career in all the places except towards the end.
Well, when I joined, I did the LSD trip, which was Lackland, Shepherd, Dias, all in Texas. Since I was with the B1,
right.
That's what we always make jokes about and laugh because we stayed in Texas forever.
Yeah.
Within a 4-hour radius of all the bases.
Yeah.
So
I went to Germany and did a deployment to Iraq, and I was through a whole deployment we did a lot of stuff. I was actually injured in combat. It was a very tough deployment. My first experience with combat, and I was injured, and I was forced to leave the combat zone. So I went back to land school in Germany. I was in recovery for a little while and stuff like that, and eventually I wanted to get back because I remember my unit, they were extended. Instead of 12 months, they were extended for another extra 3 months and everything. So they spent 15 months. I got back early because I was injured, and then I was like trying to recover, and I kept asking the NCOIC, the Rio D NCOIC, hey, am I gonna be able to get back and all that? And one time I remember he looked at me and was like, listen, you're done. You're done.
How did that feel? Like
It was, you feel like, I don't know, you're like living your
mission.
your buddies behind, like everybody that you care for in combat and everything. And every night I used to think like, oh my God, man, all the guys are doing and all that stuff. And it just kept bothering me so much. And but at the same time, I was like, you know what? I was actually in Rear D and was able to talk to people that were like coming new into the unit, and they were able to they were going forward to support the guys in the unit and stuff in Iraq. And I felt like talking to them and preparing them for what were they gonna face down there. It was not gonna be like because it was something that I didn't kind of get, because I was like, oh my God,
you were dropped into a new setting.
Exactly. And but for them, I try to be like the guy that, hey, listen, this is what you're gonna see, be prepared for it, And that actually, I guess it was like finding a purpose within.
Well, and being making them so they're not going in blind, and they don't have to do the struggles that you had to do when you were like, where do I stand, where do I go, what do I look out for, which is really, a lot of people don't know that combat situation. Even in the civilian world, they think everyone is shooting at guns like old style war,
yeah, exactly. It's not like, it's a different concept of operations. It's not like Vietnam or it's like you're fighting a different type of war.
Right.
Where you go into cities and stuff. It's like an urban, firefight, and operations and stuff like that, which is like way different for what people see on TV,
right.
like in movies, we were soldiers or Saving Private Ryan and stuff like.
Yeah, those are all the movie versions.
It's like totally different because you don't know who you're fighting, against.
Right, and you don't know if they're kids or they're women.
No, exactly, and. It's like it's a very hard situation to be in, because you don't know who's the enemy. That was like the worst part.
And that's where I remember reading in your story about your career that you were on constant operational stress, right? Yeah. So like, what does that really feel like day to day in that setting versus now? We can get more into details about afterwards, but like, I guess, so in that setting, that constant operational stress, what kind of tolls does that put on you?
Oh, Jesus. It's like a little bit overwhelming, but you learn how to deal with it day by day. And I think that's like, for me, what kept me going was like, okay, I need to worry about making it through the day.
Right.
Making it like, take care of like my buddies, like my soldiers and stuff like that. And, that's what actually like kept me going.
Because you're family over there. You guys are there for each other.
Exactly. That's all we all have.
Mm-hmm. It's like, we had a saying that we embrace the suck together.
Right? Exactly.
Everyone's in the same.
And I mean, there's no other option than, like you said, embrace.
The sandstorm's coming, you're just charging through it, getting through it. Sandstorm every day in stressors and in war and in fighting. Mm-hmm. So how did you balance your mission success with taking care of your soldiers? You being able to prepare those new soldiers going in is amazing. And they're so lucky that you were there, even though you felt like you were missing out on that fight. But like, when you were on the field, what were some things that you would encourage your soldiers to do, being the leader?
So, I'm gonna start like from the beginning, because I was a soldier.
Right.
When I first came in, I was an E4 when I first went to Iraq and everything like that. So I had like that. At least we had a great group of leaders.
Right.
A great group of leaders, and the way they managed themselves in combat. That's what I learned. And
looked up to them.
Looked up to them all the time, and and like there were sometimes it's like, I want to be like this guy, when I grew up in the ranks and stuff like that. Not that guy, to this guy, right? You know?
It's funny how you still learning something to do or don't want to be from some good and some bad.
Yeah, learn the good, stay away from the bad.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, then like moving forward, like, you know, I started developing my own like leadership style, you know, based on all the leaders that, you know, encouraged me to, you know, stay in the Army and move forward and stuff like that. And, you know, eventually, you know, I was able to be a section chief and, you know, have soldiers under me and everything. And I was always like, you know, that guy where, you know, I guess like being a recruiter, helped me also, you know, get like that face to face with people, like, you know, and cared about them and show them like, you know, the path of like success and stuff like that. So after being in recruiting, like, you know, that actually helped me out to be like more, sit down with my soldiers and, you know, talk to them about their future and
they want to do
what they wanted to do and, you know, and what was bad, what was wrong, and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not perfect, you know, but like, you know, it feels good when soldiers actually, like, you know, like right now, as of today, there's soldiers that I have like back in like 2006, I mean, 8, 9, and all that, and they still talk to me, like, hey, chief, they still call me chief, you know, even though like, you know, I grew up in the ranks and stuff like that,
but that's what that mentorship looks like, and being that servant leader, that they still feel comfortable reaching out to you. And you being that in that recruiter position, even being able to guide them, if like, okay, this is what you want to do. I've been in this position. You maybe don't want to be that MOS. You know what I mean? You can help guide them to the person they are. That they would be the best spot. Because I know a lot of recruiters, not personally, but a lot of them will just stick them in a spot because they're just a number on a piece of paper. So that's hard.
Yeah, for me, like I never put in like 13 Bravo in my career, like, you know, as a dealer, man. I always tell them, like, you know, you gotta get something that is like, you know, it's gonna help you out after you get out of the military.
A skill or a trade.
I mean, at the end, it's your decision to make.
Right.
If you want to go infantry, you want to do, like, it's your decision to make. But my recommendation, if I was, like, you know, going back and all that, you know, to the Army and everything like that, I probably, like, would have thought about, like, more stuff about, like, something that was going to, like, help me out eventually after I get out and stuff like that. But I ended up, because there's people that go in, you know, and they do, like, 4 years, you know, small contract, and then after that, oh, what am I gonna do?
Right.
I'm an infantryman or a combat or something like that, you know.
And we see that a lot being what we do at INvets. You know, we have people that get out and they're like, oh, I'm an infantryman. Nothing correlates to outside jobs. And we're like, no, maybe not that specifically, but all those soft skills do. All the leadership, all the discipline, all the respect and ability to learn and to accomplish missions, right? So we can help translate that into those roles. But you're right, not knowing and just going in blind is a hard thing. But we need the infantrymen too, you know, obviously.
I know,
military,
exactly.
So
someone has to do it.
Someone's got to do it. But it's good that they have you that they can still reach out to, and especially those that are still active duty. So that's awesome. But doing all of that and going through all of that has put a toll on you with some PTSD and mental stressors that you've went through. You know, and you can share as much or as little as you want, but like, when did you first start noticing the effects of PTSD in your life? Like, were you still in? Are you out? Because I know in the military we try to be those hard exteriors.
And that's like, you know, a struggle because, you know, a lot of veterans I know because I've been through it. And it starts early in your career. Like for me, it started early, way early. You know, being in combat, like for my first time and being injured and seeing stuff that is just like, you know, a lot of people just get to only see on TV or video games and all that.
And it's imprinted in your mind.
Like for a lot of us, it's like real, you know, and you come back and, you know, I said like combat is something that, you know, you're doing at the moment. You come back from deployment and it stays with you forever, you know. But for me, it started way early after my deployment, you know, nightmares and, you know, sadly, you know, we tend to cope with substances like alcohol and stuff like that, and and that's the only way to survive. Because the thing is, like, you cannot, you have this pride where like, I'm not gonna get any help. Like, I'm just gonna tough it up.
Yeah.
I'm a leader. Let's
I can
go.
be strong.
Take care of your soldiers. And don't let them see that you're weak. Because the moment, like, a soldier sees you're weak and everything, that trust, it just falls out of the window.
They don't want to follow that because they're going to be like, what if you fall out?
Exactly. So I kept telling myself, I'm responsible for people's lives. And I just kept moving forward and getting any help. And it was working for me.
And people probably didn't even notice that you were under all that stress because a lot of PTSD symptoms are internal.
It is.
And hidden, right? So symptoms that people might not recognize, what are some of those either mood swings or things that maybe educating people to be aware of?
Yeah. So for me was, the constant, what is it? I needed to, like, if I was going places, I needed to, I'm just gonna, like, get me a shot or something like that. Before going to places or something like that, or I'll drink me a beer and everything like that, and I was like, okay, now I'm ready, let's go. And I just kept, like, doing it like that, and telling myself that I was like a strong, I was a strong leader, and I was just going out there and making it happen, and I dealt with that for so long, and I came to the realization after I retired what I've done when what I did was just delaying the process of confrontation. And that's what we all do.
In denial.
And denial and everything. And, it came to the point that, my identity was around the uniform, the mission, and all that stuff. Like, that we always do.
So then when you took that uniform off, you were able to slow down and recognize these symptoms and signs and realize, like, hey, I've hidden this for so long because I didn't want to seem weak and for my soldiers, but, like, now it's time to take care of yourself. And that's where a lot of people wait so long when it could become detrimental, or they get in trouble, or they get DUI when they're drinking to cover those symptoms.
Exactly. You get into trouble and you feel like you're out of control.
Right.
Like, out of control, you can't control it and all that. And luckily for me, I had, like, a good support system after I retired. My wife and neighbors and stuff like that. It actually helped me. Like, I had neighbors that are firefighters, guys that were in the National Guard before too, and all that. So I'm able to kind of relate and stuff like that. And they'll always go and I'll try to visit them and stuff like that too, and back and forward.
Well, it's important to have that circle of trust and loyalty, love, for each other, right? I always try to even just tell my children, I'm just trying to raise you to be a good human, you know what I mean? And be there for other people. And, you can be kind to anyone. And even it's just as simple as giving someone a smile. My daughter's always laughing at me. We're at the grocery store and I'll smile at someone. I'll be like, oh, hi. And she'll be like, why do you say hi to them? And I'm like, that could have just made their day completely better. Maybe they have something going on at home.
That's so true.
And they're hiding it inside. And I gave them a smile and they're like, huh. And I put a smile on their face. So it's just one of those things, having that that support behind you is fantastic, because there is that stigma that civilians think about military members too, that everyone has PTSD, and that what if they blow up on us at work in a position or in a job. But as long as, like, they're identifying it and people are taking away that stigma and coping with it the right way, we are successful veterans that can be implemented into civilian jobs. Absolutely. And we're mission driven and most of the time don't want to fail.
It's like, the way I see it is like, every job that's out there, is teachable. Like, but what you're not gonna find that you can't find out there is that discipline and leadership.
Right.
You cannot teach that. It takes years to develop.
Oh yeah.
And that's something that we actually bring to the table.
Right.
And
you can
put, I can do anybody's job.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I can do anybody's
job.
Give
me a week, we'll pick it up.
Just training. And I have the discipline and I have the leadership to
And oftentimes, if we can't figure it out, we will figure it out.
Oh,
Just
wait.
like how you did with your AI music, which we're going to get into in a minute.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm not missing any good questions here. So we already kind of talked on this about when you wanted to address it head on, when you got out of the military and realized your identity for that.
Yeah.
So strength, we talked about that, being strong for your soldiers. So now, how has your definition of strength changed now since being in versus out?
My definition of strength is like, I think it's like greater than what I thought it was before. Because like right now I'm able to face all my, what is it? I guess insecurities with PTSD and stuff like that. I was able to face that, and it takes, a lot.
It takes courage
It
and
takes
strength to
a lot
talk
of
about
courage. It takes, strength,
it.
and I think that I was able to develop that strength to face PTSD by telling myself, it's like, hey, do you want to live like this for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or do you want like the people around you to feel like they always have to be like on watch around you or
walking on
something?
eggshells.
Exactly, walking on eggshells. Like I always like think about my wife and my children and stuff like that. It was like they don't deserve that. They deserve better.
Right, and it takes strength to then ask for the help and get that.
Exactly. So for me, like little by little, I started like because initially I couldn't be out in crowds.
Yeah.
Like it was
Anxiety
very tough to me, like for me, and I was like, hey, I was able to catch myself. It's like, hey, listen, go out there, face it, and it's not like hey, you have to like go out there and like be all like paranoid, no, like that. You can take your breaks from it.
Yeah, and do it little by little. Go for 30 minutes.
Like, exactly. If you're again, like for example, I go to Colts games or Patriots games or to the Indians games or something like that, and I go out there. My wife always go with me or my neighbor or something like that, and there's moments where I think like I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit stressed out, and I'm just like get up and like bro, like walk around and then come back and but little by little you start adapting to that atmosphere and stuff like that, and now it's to the point that I'll go, it's like, oh man, I'm enjoying the moment right now.
Yeah,
it's very good feeling
because you're growing yourself.
Yeah.
In maturity and mentally, physical, and emotional, which is great because, and people that are in the military right now, if they're going through these struggles, they shouldn't do it in silence because everyone has these same issues. Not everyone, but there are resources now. Even while you're in, it doesn't make you undeployable. It doesn't make you unuseful in the military. They should know that they need to get the help early instead of hiding it for 20 years.
And that's something that happened like throughout what is my generation in the Army, is that at the beginning, like I remember like PTSD was like unheard of at the beginning. Like, okay, then little by little, you're out there and you don't want to sound like you're crazy or something like that, because we were scared like of like talking to people and, hey, this is what I do for a living. If I talk to someone,
they're going to be scared of you.
They're probably going to kick me out or something. And that's the fear that we had. Like, it was crazy. It was like, they'll probably reevaluate me and like get me out or push me out of the Army, and combined with, not looking weak in front of other soldiers and stuff like that.
It's kind of like when people have those PT waivers, right, for physical fitness, and then you're like, oh, now you can't do your PT test, you're worthless. But it's not true. Now they want you to get fixed so you can go back stronger.
Exactly.
So definitely there are the resources. We have the same issue even in the Air Force. But people can also have PTSD not only from hand-to-hand combat, but even from other missions and home stations.
There's other stuff. And that's why when you're retired, there's something that, the VA look at, and it's like instruments of war.
Yeah.
There's a, specific in the questionnaire, it says something about like, dealing with instruments of war and all that stuff. And you can, like, PTSD comes from different,
sources.
From different sources and everything. And instruments of war is like one of the things, like you could be in training and stuff like that, and that training will actually trigger stuff that, affects your life.
Even car accidents, civilians have experienced PTSD because of a car accident. So, I mean, it's definitely something that no one should be ashamed of and able to go and get the help they need.
Right.
So I'm so glad that because we can share all this information with our guests and our viewers and other veterans to come. But let's also talk about transitioning to your civilian life. So when did you officially retired in 2024?
2024, February 26th. Yep.
Okay, all right. So what was the hardest part about retiring after 20 years of wearing a uniform?
Jesus. Oh, man.
If you could pinpoint. I know there's probably multiple things. But.
Yeah, multiple. I think it's just like I decided to take a break.
Yeah.
Kind of like recharge my batteries and stuff like that. Because, eventually I wanted to do something. But like the first couple of months, I wanted to stay in the house and take care of a couple of projects. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to, I don't know, like get a tool shed, backyard done, and build a garden in the house. I built a bar in the garage, and it was just like to me, like going out there. But eventually, I ran out of projects, and then I was like, "Whoa, what the hell do I do now?"
Yeah. Because you always want to have something going on.
Exactly.
Well, and I tell people that too with our job is like, hey, you may want to take a few months off and wait till you get bored. Because if you jump right from military into a civilian job that's 40 hours a week and keep going, you're never going to have that time to decompress, almost get bored, and then get into what you really want to do for your next career. Because a lot of times when people retire, we're in our 30s, maybe early 40s.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I knew with teenagers, I couldn't just stop working. I had to get
out there. And that's the way I feel now. I need to go out there because, like initially I wanted to go into IT and stuff like that. So I ended up going into IT school, like 6 months after, I retired and stuff like that. And I did I graduated from, from that course, took all my certifications and stuff like that. But then I was like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Like, sit down behind the desk, telling people if you turn on your computer, something like that, that might fix a problem.
Right, hard reset.
Exactly, hard reset or something like that.
Funny story, real quick. So my heat in my house went out the other day, and it was about to snow. This was on Friday night into Saturday. My house was 57 degrees, and I'm like, so I'm YouTubing it, I'm doing all this stuff, and I was a mechanic, so I'm pretty handy with things.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I narrowed it down, the light thing, it wasn't lighting up, it was the high limit switch. And so I had a friend reach out to an HVAC guy, because you can't just go into the store and buy those switches.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we don't have any on hand, we can get it for you Monday, because, it's late Saturday night. And so someone had told me, hey, just take the screws off of this, disconnect this, and tap on it with the screwdriver. And I did that, and I put it all back together, and I was like, oh my God, hard reset. And it worked, and my house had heat. But it is true. A lot of times electrical things is just turning it off and on again,
Yeah.
So you're right, though. But being behind a desk, I've had a client before that wanted a remote, wanted into IT, got the job, was doing fine, loving it. And he's like, I realized it's really hard to be alone just at a computer all day and being remote. I want a job in an office or hybrid, so I have that human interaction.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it makes sense because a lot of people want IT. They think it's a great thing, working from home or sitting at a computer, but it can get lonely, especially if you're used to being with the squad or platoon and everything.
Yeah, you're like, what it said, used to, like, this, type of career where you're like involved with soldiers, always hands-on and traveling and doing stuff, and all of a sudden you're behind a computer. You're like, ooh, okay. So yeah, I didn't want to do that for the rest, for the rest of my couple of years that I have, in the workforce, I guess.
No, and that's good that you identified that early.
Yeah.
Because you had time to pivot. Mm-hmm. So when you got out, did you use INvets services at all? I
started contacting
Braden?
one of the guys. It was
Jerry?
The guy before Braden.
Oh, Jeff.
Who's the guy who's a little bit
that's Jerry. Yeah.
I think it was Jerry or the other guy.
Andrew?
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I started talking to him, and I'm telling all my goals and everything, what I wanted to do and all that stuff. And, he was probably thinking that it's like, oh, this guy is going from all over the place. And
right.
Because initially I told him, hey, I'm going to go to IT school, and then from there, I'll probably, need your help and find a job and all that. And then after that, it's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I'm going to switch it up.
Yeah, I got to switch it up. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to search for something that is actually, something that I feel like I'm
Passionate.
out there, passionate about it and everything. And before, it was like when I was stationed in Hawaii, I became a master gunner,
Yeah.
and as a master gunner, you're like teaching people, certifying people, artillery crews, and building SOPs, and evaluating training, and
Yeah.
all this stuff. And I was like, what career in the civilian sector will be like similar to what I used to do? And then I found something about like OSHA, and I was like, okay, let me see which colleges out there offer something towards OSHA, and then find out that environmental health and occupational safety was a thing. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is what I want to do. And like right now, I'm like in my last 5 classes. I'm taking 2 right now, then 3 next semester, and I'm totally done. I'll
Congrats.
get my degree. Thank you. Yeah, and then I want to go out there and get into the workforce, and hopefully do something. Even I don't want to be like full remote stuff. I don't think it's possible to be in that type of work and be fully remote. Like hybrid, I'll take that. But
Traveling around.
and traveling around, and
you'll have to remind me to get you in touch with Hank. He does with 360 Flood and Fire and stuff like that too.
Oh, really?
In that EHS field.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So anyway,
definitely downtown.
Yeah, he was one of my clients. He actually moved back from Hawaii as well.
Oh, really?
And
Nice.
so, but he lives up in South Bend area. But he travels a lot
Yeah.
for them, but for big events that are happening around the
That's
nation.
cool.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Maybe they're hiring when you're ready. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be like, we got to take a break.
Yeah.
After, probably going on vacation, something like that with life and everything.
Yeah.
And then, I'll start
So if
searching.
with you, it seemed like you jumped a little bit, not knowing, right? Unsure of where you wanted to do and what you want to do. Tried a few things. And that's our goal always with our clients and our veterans coming back to Indiana, is to help them navigate and not just push them into a field that they want. Like, hey, if you find a job and you're like, it's not right, like the IT, right? You want to pivot, we're here for that.
Yeah.
So like if you could give advice on transitioning out of the military for new members, whether it's after 4 years or after 20 years, and if they're coming back to Indiana, what are some things that maybe you wish you would have done your last 12 months of service to help you be ready more for the outside? Now it's a little different for retirees versus 4 years, because we want to get bored and take a break. You know?
I mean, everybody goes through all that transitioning out and stuff like that, and you take all your classes and how to build your resume and all this stuff and everything. But I think it's that it's something that I think that is like awesome, is that you guys actually go to different bases, something like that, and start talking about like INvets and stuff like that and everything. And for me, I found you guys just doing some research, and I wish I would have done that. In my last year in my career, it's like research all the resources from your state,
Right.
and what's out there that is going to help you, succeed after you retire or get out of the army and stuff like that. Because I found out about so many things that I didn't know about.
And you could have been utilizing some of these resources probably the last 10, 15 years of your
There's
career.
a lot of benefits out there too that I was totally unaware of.
Oh yeah, we try to tell people use the resources ahead of time, make a plan, connect with either organizations from the state you're going back to, or with us with INvets, and don't just sign up and then ghost it, because we can help provide those resources, the state benefits. Do you guys know that now Indiana, for veterans, if you're 100% permanent total, you get 100% property taxes?
I know,
It just got implemented.
That bill just passed, yes.
So those are things that mentors or organizations can help with. So you're right, just reaching out and doing the research. I was the same way. I didn't know about INvets until I was about 2 years out and going through TAPS, and then I was like, I want to do a skill bridge. And I was with HOH, and then I was like, INvets, what's that? So I looked into it, I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So that was back in 2022, and this was a newer organization, started in 2018, so I wasn't here when I left, so it makes sense, but having that plan is very important. But during your time here in classes and going for your EHS degree, right? EHS?
EHS.
Yeah.
They
Make
go
sure I get it right.
EHS, or
all the different acronyms.
different
right?
names.
But it found you time to also get into your AI music. So let's talk about that, which also helped you through your PTSD and your stressors. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. So everything came out just as an idea. I remember I was sitting in class. I had like a couple of classmates, and we're like probably a total of like 10, 12 guys
Outside of the military?
in golf and stuff like that. In school and everything, and. During like one of the classes, one of the guys started talking about, oh, do you know this platform that you can actually build your own music? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. So we were in break, and he was like, hey, right here, and we just started like making songs and stuff like that. And I didn't pay attention because I was never into music and all of that.
Yeah.
No,
I
never
can't play any instrument.
No. I sing karaoke and everything, and people laugh at me or something.
I sing in the car, my dog tells me
in the bathroom, in the shower, and all that stuff. I mean, I think I can do like karaoke well sometimes. After a little, I don't know that I started like getting more like, oh man, maybe I can turn something. Maybe I'll write a song about like something.
Right.
So I don't know. I made a song like for my wife, like the little man and stuff like that, and it came out alright, very generic. It sounded AI like a robot and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, it's cool. And I said to her, and it was, oh, that's cool, whatever. And
I always think of those TikTok videos where they're in the car. They play, I don't know these words, but you evolved yours a little bit more.
No, definitely. I did a lot of digging, and then I made a song for my death grade thing. I was like, let me write some stuff and see how it comes out and everything.
So were you writing about your deaf grade day?
Because...
Or I thought maybe when I read that, like you wanted to play it for him because he couldn't hear it.
No.
In case it turned out bad.
I told you to listen to it. You're not paying attention.
But that's sweet though, to get those emotions out.
The thing is like about this like great thing is like, she went through we rescued her in Ohio. She had a rough life and everything like that. So I felt like I was like actually like rescuing her at the beginning, but then exactly. That's the way it felt, and that's how I built like that song, like two souls that met and help each other out in the healing process. And I started writing about it and stuff like that, and all of a sudden it came out something like, whoa, it hit me. Yeah. And then through trial and error, I started doing more digging through AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, and all these different AI platforms and everything. And then I was able to train my platforms to come out with different prompts to actually come out with a very realistic voice. And
it sounds like your voice.
It's crazy. I mean, I was actually I sang a couple of notes and everything and all that, and it was able to match me with some realistic voices. Yeah. But then through trial and error, I started going in there and trying it out and see, and it was a tough process because you have to break that code, separate that AI voice from something that is realistic.
Right.
And I kept digging, and then I find out that writing my own natural songs and teaching my AI platforms how to build all this structured, well-written, lyrics and based on my own ideas and stuff, and all my memories, combat, healing, and being grateful for my support system and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, just bam, I started creating songs. All of a sudden, they are they don't even sound like it's AI.
Right. When I first heard it, I thought you started a band, or you know what I mean? I've heard some of his music. It's really good. You guys should listen. We'll put the link in our this one so people can.
Definitely.
For the ones that are live. So for you to create a song, how long would that process normally take?
Well,
I guess it
all depends on my mood.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, you can create something, but I like to develop something that it has meaning,
right.
And it doesn't sound like it's something that just I give it a prompt and there it is. Yeah. It's something that I actually go and do a lot of digging and everything. Right now, I created that first album 8 songs and stuff. They're pretty good. And but right now I'm working on my second album now. I have about 4 songs already. You know, I still like making peace with them.
Yeah.
You know, before I actually put them out there. But yeah.
Well, this is a passion of yours, and it's also a healthy outlet for your pain and struggling. So you want to make it right.
Yes.
And that's what is important for people to find that passion, especially if they're struggling with PTSD or even just getting out of uniform, even if they're losing that identity. Don't just jump into something and halfway do it. If you need to make the money, you know what I mean? But also find a passion that drives you. Find your support system or a hobby.
I know.
Right?
Like for me, I'll tell you, like I never thought that I was gonna be sitting down here talking to you about music and stuff that I have created. Like never in my life thought that I was gonna be able to to produce music and all that stuff, and finding ways that which is crazy. Like I was checking my my platforms and all that, and you get like all the places where people listen and all that stuff, and I'm seeing people from Israel, South Africa, Germany, UK, like my music is way out there.
And that's amazing. You're touching people that you don't even know.
I know.
Which is awesome.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And they've reached out to you through like private messages and stuff, right?
TikTok, I have a TikTok channel, and I have a Facebook page where I actually explain all my songs, the meaning behind every song and all that stuff too. And people message me all the time. It's like, they believe that it is you like saying. I was like, no.
They want to bring you out for
I
a concert.
explain it there as AI, because there's like a big people accepting AI nowadays, and it's big,
it's definitely being
topic,
beneficial.
Very, sensitive subject.
Very sensitive.
Yeah, very sensitive.
AI is taking over a lot.
It is.
And it can do so much, but you also don't even know if it's a real person on the other end of a phone now. Or is it a chatbot? You know what I mean? People have to ask, and it is scary for some people. Yeah. But if you're using it in the right way, like you are, it could be so beneficial.
Yeah. It's like it's like I tell people, it's AI, but the meaning behind every song is like my own living experiences. Yeah. And that's what I think that separates me from other AI music out there. And mine has a meaning. I go through all the process of the lyrics, and I process everything, and figure out the sound around it, something that bands like Five Finger Death Punch, Metallica, Slipknot, and all that stuff. Like I grew up in that. Exactly. Yeah. And that's for us in combat. A lot of soldiers identify with music like that and everything. And
look at you pumped up.
Exactly. You're at the gym, and and
it gets you ready to go into that mission.
Ready to go. Yeah. So that's why I decided to to go through that that type of music. Metal, modern metal kind of deal.
Which is funny because I don't listen to. The only music I don't listen to is the music that gives me a headache, where it's like, they're just yelling at me. But when I listen to your music, I was like, okay, this is a little heavy metal, but I actually really enjoy it, and I listened to it the whole way home from Indy that day when I got your album, because it really hits, it really resonates, and it doesn't give me a headache because it's not that only screaming at you music where like everyone's yelling at the mic.
Because the thing is, like, I try to when I sat down, I was like, I got to deliver something that keeps the listener engaged throughout the whole song. Because if you miss one of the lines on the song and everything like that, you're probably gonna have to go back because they build on each other. They build everything, like every bridge, every chord and stuff like that, every verse, they build into each other. And that's like,
which takes skill, time, and purpose for your songs, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So you have 8 and you have 4 more in the works.
I have 4 more in the
So out of all 12 of those, was there one more specifically difficult or more meaningful out of all of them?
Man, like
to create
some of the songs, like the first 2, like Battlefield Goes and The Ghost I Know, those like were like one of my the first songs that I actually created, and those are like me battling PTSD, and I know that other veterans feel the same way. So those were like very tough to swallow.
Yeah.
Very tough to swallow. Because you brought all the memories. I have to dig deep and make peace with all the lyrics, all the songs before I actually put it out there and started like promoting the music and stuff like that.
Because it's a part of you. You're sharing you with the world, which is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see how that was scary and you wanted to get it right. So if people wanted to start listening to you and following your music, do you recommend that they start song 1 and all the way through?
All the way through. Every song is like from the beginning till the end, and it starts with like my struggles, with PTSD, and then the second one is like how I face all those like the ghosts I know,
right?
All the, and it's not like ghosts out there and scary movies. No, like that is about like all those memories that always like chase you after combat, and
like those demons inside you.
Exactly, and then after that, I'll talk about the night I was, I got shot and stuff like that. I built a song about that because I needed to feel peace. Because that night for me was like very, I don't remember a lot of stuff about that night because I was in shock when I got shot. And my other buddy got shot.
Adrenaline's rushing.
There were like, we actually eliminated the enemy and stuff like that too. And, the whole situation was just like a blur to me. And, I think like my mind started creating, stuff in my own dreams. And, I didn't, to the point that I didn't know what was real or not.
It's like that puzzle you're trying to put together.
Exactly. So for many years, I started believing in my dreams and all that stuff. And it was not until, in 2025 or 2024 that I went to Ohio and reunited with some of my guys out there that were there in that same deployment, that same night when I got shot and stuff like that. And they started, I was like, guys, I need help because I don't remember. So we all like, it was like my old captain was there, a couple of guys in my section and my platoon and all that. So we all got together.
Putting those memories collectively in place.
Even one of my guys that was there too, I remember him like tapping me in the face when I got shot and everything. Hey, you okay? Stay awake. Stay up there. Just breathe for me and stuff like that and everything. I remember, and that's actually in one of my songs too, in that song and everything. I talk about that, and it took that moment to realize that my mind was building stuff that was not real. What happened that night, put everything into lyrics. I put everything into a song, and it just came out like that's one of like my kind of like favorite songs. But as far as like style and everything, sometimes like I'll listen to it and everything, and I'm like, damn.
And which one's that one called? So in case they want to know what the title is.
Through the Blur.
Through the Blur. Okay.
Through the Blur. Yeah, because I was able to like actually get through it. The blur, the memories that came out of that night and all that stuff. I was able to clear that with all my guys in that reunion, and like finally I'm able to see that night the way it happened.
And not made up in your mind. And that's where
in my mind,
getting things out of your mind and on paper or in music can help free up space in your mind to move forward. I tell people too, like even if it's just writing a journal, sometimes when I'm overstressed even at work and I'm like, I have these 10 clients and this and I have this to-do list, I just got to get it on a piece of paper or type it up or I speak it into AI sometimes and I make this list and it'll type it for me because I just need to get it out of my brain and onto something else because otherwise I'm doing this.
That's me too, believe me. I have to write stuff down on my notes. I always like have my notes up and everything everywhere I go now because like I guess like I got into that writer mentality, like producing music and all that stuff. Yeah. So everywhere I go, my mind is always like running, and if I don't write it like right away,
it's gone.
That idea will like be like,
the moment passes you by.
Yep.
It's like when you're trying to think of that one word, and you're like, gosh, it's gonna hit me later, and I'm gonna forget it. You know what I mean? And it does. No, that's amazing. So. We talked about that song. Your first album is called The Aftermath, so if you want to find that. You said you have a TikTok page. What is that title so people can find you?
I'll have to give you the link.
Give the link?
Again, like I say,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it was not done. Okay, we'll get all the links in there for you guys.
Yeah.
So I see you writing things down. I always have to write down or I'll forget questions.
Yeah, I know you're asking about like what was like actually my favorite song.
Yep. So we got that. Yep. You said
it was like Through the Blur.
Yep.
It's like kind of my favorites, but there's one in there that actually carries the whole.
I'm just going to decline that and I'll.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, I can't do it. He's one of my clients.
Nope.
I've been telling him to call me all day yesterday. I'll call him later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll cut that part out. So yeah, so Through the Blur and then.
And Through the Blur is like, because I don't know, it's just the rhythm and the ability for me to actually, get, make peace with that mind and stuff like that. It's like, but, there's a song in there for my wife too. And, that's like a very special song because she actually helped me out, like, through the whole process. Like very grateful for that woman.
Standing there by your side.
Like, she understood. Like she actually was able to teach herself on how to deal with everything that I was dealing, the nightmares, that me going through all this songwriting and stuff like that. Is I'll get up like at 3 a.m. to write songs. Because that was the only time that I'll be like, oh, I'm awake. Let's go.
Yeah, ready to go.
Ready to go. It was great. It was just like at 3 a.m, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost every time it was like at 3 a.m. I'll be out there writing and stuff, and she'll come down, check on me and everything like that. And sometimes I'll be out there like, man, because I have to revisit all of these memories, and she'll come up and like, hey, you're okay. We got this.
Know how to console you or be there.
But instead of her like actually be like, hey, we got. She'll actually out there, we got this. Let it out. Being yours against the support system and being there out of love. Yep. And I'm so glad you brought that up because a lot of people think of the veteran that only has struggles, but spouses carry those struggles along with the veterans and sometimes aren't heard as much because they're trying to be supportive to the veteran. Yep. But that's why we are so excited that we also help spouses and family members that are going through it is pointing them in the right direction so that way they do know how to either cope with their own stressors and or with their spouses, because you're right, she is learning how to be there for you but understanding, not trying to fix you, not trying to fix your problems, but just, and it brings your marriage so much closer too. So it's very important that you guys are on the same page, and honestly sometimes that can destroy marriages too. If people don't understand and don't see it on both sides, or even if the veteran says, oh, you didn't go to combat, you didn't go to war, but they were here dealing with the combat and war of the house, keeping the bills paid and the house running and the children to school and everything else. So they basically were at war as well. Yeah, it's like trauma comes from different ways, not necessarily from combat. And it makes them strong. Mm-hmm. Yep, spouses are very strong in the military. Oh, yeah. And so, so if people want to get into the AI field, what are some apps are the best ones, and how can AI help veterans who are struggling with it express that? Oh, I mean, any platform can actually help you out. As long as you understand what you're doing. Like for me, I would recommend people to take up a little course about AI through Udemy. There's a website, it's called Udemy, and we pay like $10, $15, something like that. And there's like people in there that actually teach you how to do prompts AI, understanding more like AI. Using AI, ethically and stuff like that. Because a lot of people use it for creating like fake videos or fake news and all that stuff. It's all over the place and everything. Right. But there's courses out there you can take, and and little by little you'll be able to identify which platforms are actually going to work for you. Right. And some people like Copilot better than AI or ChatGPT. Exactly. It's all like your intention. There's many AI platforms out there that help you how to write a book, how to create music and stuff, and different stuff. And I'm sure if anyone was super interested, you would be willing to have a conversation with them. Anytime. Anytime, yeah. So I won't give your stuff out in the world, but if you find them, you can message him on TikTok or something, or you can email me at victoria@invets.org, and I can get you in contact with him. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. But so let's see here. Okay, so we already talked about that. So impact and purpose. So what has it meant to you hearing
from other listeners around the world that have messaged you about it, moving them or helping them through, like, does it just feel like you're finally found this purpose and this is what you're made to do now and tell your story? Or, like, is there a message that stands out to you that you were able to help someone that you never knew?
There's I remember this a friend of mine and his wife that helped me out when I was in Germany, and I put a message about my music on my Facebook page and all that stuff about, like, how I created this, and how my music was reaching places that I didn't think it was gonna reach. But she said something, and she was like, "Music is the universal language of healing."
That's true. I love that quote. I've never heard that before, but you're right.
Yeah, but I take it like it's actually the recipe of, like, healing and stuff like that. I didn't see it that way until she said that, and that actually hit me.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. Yeah, so, yeah.
You got
people reaching out from Israel and all these places and South Africa and everything. It is great. And, thank you for, putting yourself in, exposing that out there.
Is it able to translate it into their language for them?
Or
no? I was just curious because even not knowing the language,
I am not sure. I am not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some digging and see, like, they're listening to my stuff and they're
because if it's in English, they may not understand. But if you could figure out a way, if they want to continue, that they can hit something that can convert it. I don't know if that's. No idea.
I actually didn't think about that alone. Okay.
See, collaboration.
Kind of, it's probably, because, it's probably Americans out there too, speak English and stuff like that. And, people from older countries that actually understand English or, and they actually go to my music and stuff like that. I know there's somebody in Germany that keeps, like, listening to one of my songs. It's like going and going and going and playing it every single day and every day. And I'm like, who are you? Because I don't know who it is. And now, like, I just get a number.
Reach them somehow or something.
Or they can reach to me, like, to my Facebook page. I'm always, like, available and stuff like that. I keep switching from my my music page to my personal page and all that. But I'm always, like, out there listening to paying attention to see who messaged me and stuff.
So that person who is listening to that song is probably really helping them.
I really hope so. Even, like, at the beginning when I created this and I decided to go public with my music and everything, like, for me, it's like, this actually can help somebody out. Because if it's helping me, I'm sure it's gonna help somebody out there. And
and everyone listens to music. If you think about it, no matter if you're 99 or 0, they're listening to music when they go to sleep as babies, or their mothers and fathers are singing to them. But if you're happy, you listen to happy songs. If you're sad, you listen to those. everyone can resonate with it. So that is what you're so right when she says it's a universal healing tune, and
it is.
And it's so great that it's being positive impact for people with your music. You know what I mean? And it's a wonderful gift. So we kind of what does now your purpose out of the military? Your purpose in the military was do your mission and be there and be your leader for your soldiers, right? So now what does your purpose look like? Is it more legacy? Is it more the music you want to leave behind for people? Is that what you want people to know you as, down the line? Your stories? I kind of combined a couple questions into one because they kind of all roll in together,
Yeah. Well, I guess for me, it's not like, a legacy, like personal stuff. It's like, for me, it's like, if I'm helping somebody out, then the whole journey has been, like, worth it. Even if it's like one person listening to my music and, feeling that they're less alone, that for me, it means the word,
And that's a beautiful way of looking at it, because you're not looking to be rich off this. You're not looking to go to concerts off of this. You just want this to help people and as a gift for people to the world, which is beautiful. If one person listening to this podcast, what do you want them to take away from this podcast, whether it be AI or stories or struggles or whoever's listening, that maybe we could hit something home,
For me, a couple of things. If you're listening out there and you're still in service in the Army and you're struggling, you have to go and let that pride go and go seek help, because you know all you're doing is delaying, like I said earlier, you're delaying the process of confrontation. And when you delay the process of confrontation, uh, many people just like get out of the army and immediately go into work and all that stuff. And, they don't get help and just still like delaying the process. But eventually, you're going
It's
to
gonna surface.
stop working or something is going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you. And,
And maybe at the worst time in your career or your life or where you're at that day.
It's like, I put it this way, what it's like in everything in life. It's like what you do now about it is going to help you out in the long run.
Oh yeah, and now there's even military one source. So even if people are in the active military and they don't want to go to mental health and they don't want to go to the clinic, they can go to military one source and get a therapist and talk with someone, free sessions, them and their spouses.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's no shame about it. Like I sit down with my therapist, like, hey, every 2 weeks or like every once a month or something like that, or whenever I feel like I need to talk to my therapist, even though if it's like to talk about, like, I don't know, stuff that doesn't make sense or
just to have that person there to
just having that outlet and somebody like listening to you and giving you like recommendations and stuff like that, like it's very helpful. And the thing is, like, for me in the beginning, I was like, why am I gonna sit with somebody that does not understand the whole, like, some of the therapists that I talk to and stuff like that, they they never been in that,
right.
And that was like me at the beginning. I was like, what is he? He's never been in combat.
Yeah, how are they gonna?
How are you gonna understand and all that stuff? But then I started like separating that, and I was able to like actually get help. Like my actual therapist is like amazing. Like Jesus, man, he wasn't in the army, like that, but
because they're trained in that and knowing because. Coping skills can be universal. It doesn't have to be one way or the other. And that's why we are blessed also as INvets. We have the Happy program that we have licensed therapists when people are signed up with us and getting out of the military that they call them and have that outlet to find out what stressors are going on.
Yeah.
And if they just want someone to talk to, it doesn't relate back to the military. It doesn't go back to their commander and say, oh, we're talking to a therapist. It's just someone in their corner.
Yeah.
So that's one free resource that we offer to our veterans that are transitioning, which is a beautiful thing. I actually used Happy when I was coming out of the military.
I had to look into that too.
Yeah. I talked to my therapist. Her name was Rebecca. Once a month, she just checked in on me, and that's great. Just having someone, even that is a stranger, check in on you, because then it's like you don't feel bad unloading all your problems on them. If that makes sense. You're not, twisting their arm for all day. But okay, so. If you could go back to your 1999 self, when you were joining the National Guard and the Army, what would you tell yourself?
Oh.
Or would you do anything different? Because it makes you who you are today. Yeah. Like I always think, I don't know if I would do anything different. Maybe I would have chosen a different career path, but it makes me who I am. But I don't know. Some people say, oh, I would have told them not to do this.
I would not change anything, like you said, because everything, it's your book, the book that you're writing and stuff like that. And for me, it's already written. Yeah. But if I were to go back and everything, it's not gonna be don't join the unknown like that. Like for me, I should have went warrant officer.
Maybe went to school. I always say that to myself because I tried to transfer over from enlisted to officer once I was in.
Yeah.
And it's great, because I had my degrees and stuff, but I could have just went to college and did ROTC and then joined. Right. But I was like, no, I want to join right after high school and I want to be out of here.
Yeah, and that's something, that you hit it in the spot too. Like, maybe if I were to go back to like you said, I would have done like college early in my career and stuff like that.
Instead of having to do it now.
It is. I mean, it's tough, to get into classes while working and stuff like that. But at the end, it's worth the sacrifice. Even if you're taking like one class or here and there, take a break and, because it's going to be hard, like with work and all that stuff. But that's something that I will definitely tell myself, hey, go into college early.
Yeah.
You know.
Do it while you're young, where you don't have kids and a family and a spouse that you're
exactly
taking time from. So yeah, it's definitely doable. I was the same way. I did it while I was in, and I'm like, I joined so I didn't have to go to college, and now I'm still doing college. Like, what's going on here? So that's great advice. Doing school early, even if they don't go straight to college, doing it using their TA, tuition assistance, young in their careers to knock it out.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so what's next for you? Personally, professionally, creatively? Like, you said you want to take a vacation with your family?
Yeah, I
maybe?
do. We have a vacation schedule. We're going to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone?
July.
Cool.
Yeah, I've never been there. I mean, I was there at one time, but I was like training a unit up in Wyoming, but I was able to see, like, what is it? The mountains. Oh, man, what's the name of the mountains? The Tetons.
The what?
The Tetons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you can edit that.
I figured,
yeah.
I don't know what they're called. I was just
Yeah. So you're playing, and I saw it like from far away and stuff like that. And I was actually training some, what is it, National Guard guys and something like that. And I wasn't able to go. But now that my wife's been like, oh yeah, let's go to Yellowstone and stuff like that. Yeah,
I've heard it's beautiful out there.
Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, moving forward. And for me, I'll graduate now in July, and then from there, I'll want to go into the workforce after vacation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go and keep building my music. Building my music. Like right now, I've been going to other places where like veterans meet each other and stuff like that, and being able to talk to those veterans and stuff like that, and like
that camaraderie.
Like that's something that after that I recommend people to do after you get out. Go out there. There's like a lot of veterans organizations. They do all kinds of meetings, and it's always good to talk to other veterans.
Yeah, just get out there and make that family. You've lost that sense of belonging and chosen family once you get out of the military, so you can now find the ones that are local to you. Speaking of, actually, one of my veteran clients reached out to me. He wants to get a little veteran ruck team for the Indy Mini in May.
Oh, really?
So I put a post out on our Slack if people like to do rucks.
Yeah.
He's trying to get a whole bunch of veterans and spouses to do it.
Yeah.
Come on up. So if you like to ruck.
I wish I could do it. I'm getting like injections on my back next month. So.
Oh, yeah.
So
probably not.
Yeah, injured, like, and all that, knee surgeries and all that stuff have prevented me from doing stuff like that. I mean, hopefully I get my back fixed up and all that and get back into working out.
Oh, yeah. No, I told him, I said, I'm not rocking, but I'll pass the information out there. If other
go there and
want...
share, go team.
Right? That's what I'm saying. I was like, we'll see. But no, I really appreciate you taking the time and telling us about your music and your story and your transition. Yeah. And if you guys ever need anything and want to reach out to Dave, he is more than welcoming of all veterans and spouses that are struggling. And I think that's about it. I appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I hope you have a wonderful day.
No, you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
INvets is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to helping transitioning service members and their families find great careers and communities here in Indiana.
The way we usually connect with veterans is in-person events. They are assigned to a case manager, which is one of the 5 veteran engagement managers who are located in 5 regions around Indiana. They'll really work hard to connect with them, and then they complete the profile in more detail about the types of careers they want, the skills they have, where they might live, do they have a spouse. So it's a very personal service, and we try to match them with the right career, and we try to match them with the right community.
We take our job seriously, understanding that we're not selling somebody a thing, we're helping somebody move into the next phase of their life. That's not lost on us.
We are not moving one person, we're moving a whole family, and every member of that family has a different need. We try to have those open discussions about everything.
So what we realized was just helping somebody find a job when they get out of the military isn't enough. There's got to be more to it than that, especially if we want to create lifelong Hoosiers. So we started thinking about what can we do outside of helping people find great careers to get them connected to their community. Transition is not transactional, it's transformational, and it's something that we talk with our staff about all the time. We cannot look at transition out of the military as a transaction of leaving one job and going to another. It's a transformational moment in somebody's life, and we hope and believe that should be Indiana. And once they're here, we remind them that we're here for life. So if there's anything that you need once you've gotten here, you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, a way to get involved in your community, or you just need some resources.
Thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. INvets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. INvets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about INvets, visit us at invets.org today.